Across the country set for their KCPE exams this morning. Those from Karne Primary School in Baringo South were disrupted with the startling sounds of firing. Gunshot rented the air as bandits launched attacks on villages in the area. Teachers were forced to calm the traumatized students before continuing with their exams. The areas of Kapkosum and Karne have now remained deserted after residents have fled for their lives. Ruth Sarmoi tells us more.
Just a few minutes after pupils start their mathematics exams at Karne Primary School in Baringo South, a neighboring village came under attack.
Upon the onset of the exams, bandits started striking from behind the school, just around 3 kilometers from the school, and the gunshots were heard by the students in the class.
The firing is said to have continued for about an hour.
These students were traumatized. They were recalled for the KCPE from various schools. They were spread for over 8 schools. So through the government's order, they were gathered here purposely for the exam.
Following the attack, residents fled their homes.
Sasa kama exam kweli inaendelea na sisi wenyewe tunahama mama hawa watu wenye wako kwa madarasa. Sasa tunaona kweli tunaelekea wapi?
Leo asubuhi tumefahamiwa na wakora, wamechomea watu manyumba, wamefungia wengine wa nyuma kule Kapkusuma, hata mpaka sasa hatujui ni nini inaendelea huko.
Basically our students now are the last people here, and we were appealing to the Ministry of Education through the government to maybe relocate them tomorrow, because these are people who can decide to come and even strike here tomorrow.
A few officers were left to maintain calm at the institution, as others left to combat with the assailants.
The security officers are trying, but they are overwhelmed by the bandits. So it is an issue which the government has to consider. Otherwise, most of the schools in this region will be closed totally. And the bandits are burning houses just to ensure that nobody comes back to those houses.
In the evening, the children were released to reconnect with their families who had scampered for safety. Tomorrow, pupils from the 3 schools will be required to report to a center to sit the rest of their exams.
Watoto hawana simu. Sasa baada ya hapa hata wengine hawajui watapatana na wazazi wapi. Itabidi waanze kutafuta wazazi mahali wameenda, na hata kupatikana kwao kesho inaweza kuwa ni shida kwa sababu hawajui watalala wapi.
Since the attacks, the bandits have taken over Kapindasum, Sinoni, Kasiela, Arabal, Kapkechir, Lamaiwe and Tuyotich villages in Mochongoi area.
Tunashindwa hii risasi ambayo inamwagwa kama maji, ambayo watu wanafukuzwa naye kama wanyama, imetoka wapi?
What is happening in Mochongoi is no longer cattle rustling. It is no longer robbery. What is happening in Mochongoi is massacre.
Pupils from Sinoni and Kasiela primary schools sitting their exams at Mochongoi Mixed Secondary School were forced to start their exams 30 minutes late after candidates who had fled following Saturday's attack arrived late. This is despite the government's provision of food and accommodation at the center. Fear is still rife in the area, with the 9 victims that succumbed to fighting over the weekend yet to be buried. Ruth Sarmoi, NTV.